Have you ever gotten your horoscope done, only to read something that could apply to almost anyone? Or maybe you were born on October, and the no 4 seems to follow you everywhere. If these examples sound familiar, rest assured that you are not alone. On the surface, astrology and numerology seem bizarre. How could believing that an all-knowing entity dictates our fates, based on birth dates or planetary positions, possibly appeal to so many people? And yet millions of people still read their horoscopes every day and get their astrological charts done at parties. So what exactly is going on here? To answer this question, we will cover the origins of astrology and numerology, the psychological mechanisms that drive their enduring popularity, why so many people still use them today, and finally, the scientific research that reveals the truth behind these age-old practices. Part 1. The origins of astrology and numerology. Astrology and numerology each have their own independent origins, but both can be traced back thousands of years. Astrology began over 4,000 years ago, when Babylonian astronomers noticed repeating patterns in the motions of celestial bodies. They developed a system of constellations to track these patterns, which they believed could predict earthly events and human affairs. Meanwhile, the Greek philosopher Pythagoras believed that numbers were the divine building blocks of reality. He and his followers assigned numerical values to letters and then calculated the meanings of words based on their values. In both cases, these systems evolved from practical observation to mystical interpretation. 2. People began to notice that certain celestial patterns coincided with seasonal changes and agricultural cycles. Soon after, rulers used astrology to predict military victories or divine blessings. Similarly, Pythagoras' followers took their numerical calculations to explain everything from the behavior of animals to the nature of love. Now, you might be wondering, if these systems were developed so long ago, why do so many people still believe in them today? Well, there are several psychological mechanisms that keep astrology and numerology alive, such as the Forer or Barnum effect, pattern recognition, cold reading, and the self-fulfilling prophecy. The Forer or Barnum effect is a cognitive bias that causes us to accept vague or general statements as being personally accurate. For example, studies show that most people will rate this statement as highly descriptive of their personalities, even though it applies to almost everyone. Pattern recognition is another powerful tool that keeps astrology thriving. Human brains are wired to find connections and seek meaning, even when none exist. For example, look at this image. What do you see? Chances are you see a duck, rabbit, or maybe a turtle. But to those who created this image, they see a completely different set of shapes. Our brains naturally impose order on the world around us, and astrology provides a seemingly predictable structure to the chaos of life. Cold reading is a technique used by practitioners of astrology and other psychic arts to appear psychically accurate. They observe subtle verbal and nonverbal cues to guess information about the people they are interacting with, such as dress, hairstyle, age, gender, occupation, or emotional state. Then they make educated guesses and present them as revelations. Finally, there's the self-fulfilling prophecy, which occurs when believing in a prediction makes it come true. For example, imagine someone is told that they will have a terrible day. As a result, they become anxious and interpret any minor inconvenience as confirmation of the prediction. This selectively biased thinking makes the prediction come true. These psychological mechanisms reveal why astrology and numerology continue to thrive despite a lack of empirical evidence supporting them. Part 3. Why do so many people still use astrology and numerology today? With the advent of the digital age, astrology and numerology have become more accessible than ever. Apps and websites allow users to instantly generate their horoscopes or lucky numbers. And social media platforms provide endless opportunities to connect with like-minded individuals. This easy access has contributed to the enduring popularity of these practices. But there are also deeper psychological reasons why people still use astrology and numerology today. These systems provide a sense of self-reflection and personal growth, offering insights into one's personality and relationships. They can also be used as a tool for making decisions or solving problems, providing a framework for action. Additionally, astrology and numerology foster a sense of community, belonging, and shared language, which can be especially appealing to those seeking connection or understanding. Finally, they function as a form of informal therapy, providing comfort and reassurance in times of uncertainty or difficulty. Overall, astrology and numerology continue to resonate with people because they offer a combination of practicality, spirituality, and emotional support. Part 4. The scientific research on astrology and numerology. Despite their enduring popularity, scientific studies consistently show that astrology and numerology perform no better than chance. Researchers have examined various aspects of these practices, including the accuracy of horoscopes, the influence of lucky numbers, and the validity of birth charts. However, none of these studies have produced conclusive evidence that astrology or numerology have any real predictive or explanatory power. Furthermore, studies in personality psychology demonstrate that our personalities are primarily shaped by our genetics and environment, not by the positions of celestial bodies at the time of our birth. 2. In fact, the zodiac signs themselves have shifted over time due to a phenomenon known as Earth's precession. This is the slow wobble of our planet on its axis, which affects the alignment of stars and constellations. As a result, the dates associated with each zodiac sign have gradually shifted, rendering any astrological predictions based on fixed dates inaccurate. So why don't these systems work? One possible explanation is the Barnum effect, which causes us to accept vague descriptions as being personally accurate. Horoscopes and other forms of astrology often use this tactic, making it easy for believers to interpret general statements as being specifically tailored to their lives. Additionally, our desire to find meaning and connection in our experiences can lead us to selectively interpret ambiguous information as confirmation of our beliefs. This brings us to the placebo effect, which is a well-documented phenomenon in which the belief in a treatment or intervention leads to real physiological changes. For example, studies show that placebos can effectively alleviate symptoms ranging from pain to depression. When people believe that they are receiving a powerful medication, their bodies often respond accordingly, even though the treatment contains no active ingredients. Similarly, some people may experience benefits from astrology or numerology simply because they believe in their power. In other words, the placebo effect suggests that the act of believing in these systems can create real psychological or emotional effects, regardless of their literal truth. Part 5. Is there any real value to astrology and numerology? Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to believe in astrology and numerology is a personal one. However, it's essential to consider both the potential benefits and drawbacks of using these systems as a guide for decision-making or personal reflection. On the one hand, astrology and numerology can offer valuable insights into our personalities and relationships. They can provide a new perspective on our behaviors and thought patterns, encouraging us to be more self-aware and empathetic. Additionally, these systems can serve as a starting point for meaningful conversations or a framework for personal growth. On the other hand, relying too heavily on astrology and numerology can be risky. It can lead us to replace critical thinking and personal responsibility with vague predictions or lucky numbers. Additionally, these systems can sometimes be used as a form of escapism, distracting us from real-world problems or preventing us from seeking professional help when needed. Someone who believes that their partner is fated to leave them may not take action to repair the relationship until it's too late. So how can we approach astrology and numerology in a healthy and balanced way? One possible approach is to adopt a mindset of provisional belief. This involves engaging with these systems when they offer useful insights or guidance, while also maintaining a healthy level of skepticism and remaining open to alternative perspectives. By taking this approach, we can enjoy the potential benefits of astrology and numerology without falling prey to their limitations or potential dangers. In conclusion, astrology and numerology have captured the human imagination for thousands of years. Despite a lack of scientific support, these systems continue to thrive due to psychological factors such as the 4R or Barnum effect, pattern recognition, and the self-fulfilling prophecy. While astrology and numerology may not have any literal truth, they do reflect our deep-seated desire to find meaning and connection in our experiences. These systems provide a sense of order and predictability in an uncertain world and offer a framework for self-reflection, personal growth, and decision-making. Ultimately, The choice of whether or not to believe in astrology and numerology is a personal one. But by understanding the origins, mechanisms, and potential pitfalls of these practices, we can engage with them more thoughtfully and responsibly. Perhaps the real value of astrology and numerology lies not in their predictive power, but in their ability to serve as mirrors, reflecting our own personalities, relationships, and the patterns of human experience.